All right, so you want to be a woodworker, you want to dip your toes in the water and see what it's like. What should you build first? Let's dive in. All right, well, welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and I am so glad that you're here. If you are dipping your toes and becoming a woodworker, tinkering with some tools, learning some stuff, I'm super excited for you. Woodworking is one of the most fun and fulfilling things that you can possibly do. Turning raw lumber into a finished product is super awesome. I want to help you on your journey do that. I also want to help you learn how to maybe monetize and make some money with this skill set as well. So if you have not yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe. But if you are new to the channel, a little quick background about me. I started my woodworking business in my garage in 2017. Was a pretty decent woodworker, but didn't really know what I was doing from a business standpoint for several years. Finally started learning some business principles, and that's what changed everything for me. Ultimately scaling that business up to 6 employees, a shop, a showroom, and about $70,000 per month in revenue before we sold that last year. So I want to help you do the same thing, but I also want to help you dip your toes in the water and figure this woodworking thing out. So the first question that everybody asks when they get started is, what is the first thing that I should build? Right? And so you could build all kinds of stuff. You could go off on the deep end and you could do an epoxy table or a live edge. You could do cabinetry. You could do an accent wall. You could do a ton of different things, but what should you build first and why? But before we even get into that, I want to talk about the skills and the tools that you're going to need. Number one, you're going to need some saws. You're going to need probably a miter saw, maybe a table saw. It just depends on how much of a beginner you are, but a miter saw, a drill, and a sander, probably at minimum. So if you don't have those things yet, be sure to go get those. You're going to need probably about $200 to $300 if you're buying those pre-owned or refurbished online. So you can get started pretty affordably if you're just getting started, okay? Now, what should you build first? Well, in my opinion, I think that you should build a coffee table first. That's the first thing that you should build. Why? Why do I think that you should build a coffee table first? Well, because it is a little bit more complex than something really simple like a cutting board. So it's going to challenge you and it's going to push you to cut some angles, glue and screw some things together, to use clamps. And it's going to be a really nice finished product. It's going to boost your confidence a lot when you're done. And so how do you get started building a coffee table? Well, this is what makes woodworking in the 21st century so beautiful, is that there are websites right now that you can go to and you can get tons of plans for different coffee tables. And they make this super simple. You can get started using just lumber that you're buying from Home Depot or Lowe's or Menards. And this will make it very easy on you, okay? So I'm gonna give you 3 websites. You can go and you can check out plans. You can build a coffee table. You can build dining tables. You can build all kinds of furniture from these websites. The first one is AnnaWhite.com. So ANAWHITE.com, AnnaWhite.com. She has a ton of incredible plans. In fact, the very first dining table that I ever built, I built on an Anna White plan. Also, just side note, that same table, we probably sold 100 of those tables over the life of my business using those plans, okay? So AnnaWhite.com, be sure to check that out. The second one is RogueEngineer.com. Now, this is a guy that I used his plans way back in the day when I was getting started. The very first coffee table that I ever built, I used a Rogue Engineer design. I used Rogue Engineer plans. And what's really cool about this is he tells you exactly what lumber you need to go to the hardware store and buy to get started. So great plans. The last website that's really comprehensive, it's got a lot on it from 2 twin sisters, and the name of the website is shanty2chic.com. SHANTY2CHIC.com. If you go here and you check these websites out, you're going to find plans that are going to equip you to actually do the work if you'll just follow the plan step by step. They're going to tell you what length to cut stuff, type of lumber you're going to need. And here's the thing I just want to encourage you with. Don't step into this afraid or intimidated about the future. Just be willing to learn. The biggest issue that I see with new woodworkers is that they just feel overwhelmed all the time. There's no reason to feel overwhelmed. It's a learning process just like anything else that you've ever done. I heard my stepdad say something the other day to one of my kids, and it was so good. They were frustrated because they were trying something new and they weren't any good at it. And he said, well, you should probably just quit doing that until you get good at it, right? And that's how people are, though. That's how they think, well, if I'm not good at this, then I need to just hang it up. Well, why would you expect to be good at it? You've never done it before, right? You've never experienced it before. So have an open mind and go into this headstrong knowing that you're going to get better as you go and you're going to learn along the way. The one thing that you cannot afford to learn along the way is how to be safe. So just a last little thing here is be safe. If you're going to be running saws, if you're going to be running drills, if you're going to be running tools, you can cut fingers off, right? You can do things that are highly dangerous, okay? So you need to have a very healthy fear of your tools as a beginner. That's the one thing that I would tell you above all else. Like, just be careful. If you are not sure on how to use tools, YouTube is great for that too, okay? So how do I need to safely operate a miter saw or a chop saw? How do I safely use a router? There are going to be videos all over this platform showing you how to do that. So with that being said, guys, if you are brand new to the game and you're trying to figure out how to monetize and make money from woodworking, this is what I've kind of figured out. I wrote a book that's about 100 pages long called the Handmade Business Secrets ebook, and it's completely free to use. So in the first link in the description below, be sure to go check that book out. If you have not yet downloaded that, there's been about 4,000 people so far that have downloaded and checked that book out. And I would highly encourage you, go check that out. It's going to be super helpful in helping you understand how to build a business with your woodworking skills, okay? The second thing I want to just share with you is if you are looking for a low-cost program to help get you jump-started in your understanding of woodworking business, be sure to check out the Handmade Hero Academy. That is the second link in the description below. Through that program, I'm going to show you how to get started, the basics of what you need to start and build a brand, to start getting clients, to start closing deals. And so that's a low-cost investment. One high-ticket product that you sell from that is going to more than pay for itself. So be sure to check those things out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing with your life? You need to make sure that you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.